Hello, and thank you for joining me today on Live with a Purpose. Today, I want to talk to you about following for real, following Jesus for real. You know, we sort of fantasize about following Christ, about being believers in Jesus, about being his child, and yet Jesus made a serious call to his disciples. We have in the book of Mark and in Matthew and elsewhere where Jesus makes a rather strange call to his disciples. And after he does so, many left. It was too hard to take. They would follow him, and they did follow him. But when he actually told them what it was really about, what he was about, they walked away. Some stood, a smaller group stood by, but even then at the cross, they did run away. They didn't really get it. So it just goes to show just having some knowledge about Christ, agreeing, believing, needs more substance, needs more thought and meditation and more practice in the ways of the Lord and relationship with God, so that we may truly understand that we are children of the kingdom, of the heavenly kingdom of God, and not just think in lowly terms, earthly terms. So in Matthew 10, I would like to read to you chapter 10, verse 37, 38, and 39. It says, this is Jesus speaking, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it. And whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." Now, this is odd. This is a paradox. To find yourself, you have to lose yourself. I think what Jesus was getting at there is that you have to let down your guard. You have to stop thinking in temporal terms. You have to see this life for what it is. It is essentially a testing ground, a temporary place where we get to acknowledge who God is, to open our hearts to him, that he is our creator, that he is the one who brought us into existence to be in relationship and family with him, and not get lost with the toys and this life and the job and the careers and all the rest of it. In other words, God has to be the be all end all of all things. After all, he is the one who has called us from eternity past. When Jesus made this call, many of those that were following him did go away. They were with him while he was doing miracles and signs and saying wonderful things and talking back to the Jewish leaders. But when he actually said these words, it was just too much to take. I mean, on the surface, it sounds like we're supposed to hate our own families. Well, that wasn't his point. His point was he needs to be first, because he's not just anyone. He is the creator, the God of the universe, the one who came to save us. Jesus says in John chapter 10, verse 10, says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy." He says, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." So Jesus came not to take anything from us. He came to give us life abundantly, life, great life, wonderful, thriving life, meaningful, purposeful life. Not just a temporary life, but life for all of eternity, in joy and in happiness and in health and perfection, knowing who God is, growing in the knowledge of God, giving our lives over to him, because he knows all things. And if we can trust him, if we can just get over that hump being ourselves and our own minds and our own selfishness, and trust him, then we'll be free. Then we'll be joyful. Then we'll have peace. Somehow God gives us peace He gives us grace, and we understand who he is and what our purpose is on earth. So I want to encourage you to follow for real the call of Jesus Christ, to think of the words that he put out there, what it is that he's actually asking us to do, to go all out for him. And once we do so, then we're able to love our father and mother and sister and brother and enemies in a way that's beyond maturity, that's godlike, holy-like, in a way that understands evil in the world and that this life is temporary, but that we live for a higher purpose. Thank you for joining me on Live with a Purpose.